All right, so this is part two. Let's see. So, okay, I'm gonna use my other team, uh, GitHub for a perfect example of some other things that I noticed from my experience so far with Teams and GitHub. So, only way you will know if anybody been working in a branch and if anybody merged their stuff into the branch is by the time. So you see, when I created this to start off 2 days ago, master branch is the proof of that, of course. And you could tell that game developer, he did some changes 10 hours ago. But he didn't put it into the merge and work branch at the time, so therefore I wound up had to do it myself for him. And that's why I made it 3 hours ago. Low designer, she didn't remember or don't know how to do it, so I wound up doing it for her, and she did her work 6 hours ago. So now, with that being said, I'm wound up getting on my version too as well. So let's just use them as these as an example right here. So if you about to hop into the project or whatnot, before you do anything, absolutely before you do anything, check if any changes got up to date. If it showed things got up to date like this, go into it, fetch. If it doesn't say pull, go into your work. So I'm gonna go into sound designer for example. Because he haven't did anything yet, so sound designer, go into the branch, like I showed in the first part of the video, merge into the branch, get that updated workload. It'll say whatever how many commits that it happened. Get that, okay? Push. There we go. Look at that. Now sound designer got the updated version, okay? That's how you do it. Same thing for the UI designer. Branch, merge to the current branch. Let's get that merging workload. Put that in there. Oop, I didn't mean to do that. I was moving too fast. There we go. Now he got that. Now he got it. Same thing for environment artists. Let's go. Branch. Merge into current branch. Go find merging workload. Create merge commit. Wait for a second. Push it. All right, now everybody's pretty much up to date. I didn't want to do that with the developer and low designer, but once they watch the video, they will also know what to do on the end as well. But everybody else is up to date. Do not touch this. Never touch that. Okay. Let's see what else. There was some other things that happened. When it comes to Teams and GitHub, if two people working in the same level and did some changes, it will cause a conflict. So therefore, you need to always, before you close the computer, get off Unreal Engine, please, 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 always submit your stuff into wherever your merging workload branch is, and make sure you push it through before anybody else. Because if somebody else is working in the thing and you had already did your work like for a whole hour or so and you got off, 3 hours later somebody put their updated version of the level and you try to do the same thing and it's going to be a conflict. So therefore, somebody's stuff had to be sacrificed. Okay? I haven't quite sure how to really fix that where both situations could be together, but depending on who got the latest version of that work would be the only person that we can only figure out how to fix it. And then of course whoever created the GitHub might be the only person that able to fix the situation once you find out what the situation is. There's ways around it. It can be very complicated. It could be a very hard headache and it could be very frustrating, especially depends on who working we gotta destroy first. Depends on the situation, okay? That's why it's very, very important. when you open your computer, you want to start working on your stuff, go to your emerging workload branch, see if you can fetch anything. If you can't fetch anything, especially if you see it's something that was already updated, go into your branch, go to that branch right there next to the help, merge into the current branch, and make sure you merge that into that wherever your emerging workload branch is. Make sure you merge it into your branch, push it before you start anything. Another thing I want to say, sometimes people have a habit where once they do that and then start doing some work in their branch, switch over to the emerging workload branch, and then they, push their stuff in there. Sometimes they'll log out their computer and, forget all about it, come back later on and hop into the hop into the project, start working on it. But the thing is, you never switched it back to your branch. So if you didn't switch it back to your branch and say like you work it in a level, you causing a conflict. But now all your changes is currently in the merging branch where everybody's supposed to merge they stuff together. Okay, that's the whole point of the merging workload branch, or whatever you name your merging workload branch. Okay, it's gonna cause a conflict. That's why we can't put everything into the master like you probably would expect. Now, if you was a solo dev, then yes, everything would go straight to the master. But this is a whole team, especially if it's a team more than 2 people. This is most definitely, because it's a team of more than 2 people, you gotta have a separate branch where you be merging all your work together. Okay, if you work in the merging workload branch or whatever you call it, it will cause a conflict. It happened before, so many times. So always remember your branch. Check to see if there's any updates in the merging workload branch. If it is, please get that latest before you start working in your project. Okay. To avoid any issues in your team, get that updated version before you start working. The easy way to get into the project, once you did merge the latest, always go right here, show and explorer, open it up. There you go. You're good. I hope if y'all need another part, just let me know. It takes time to get used to using GitHub sometimes, especially when it comes to being a team and you gotta look at all these branches, like, okay, and this person did it like 3 hours ago, and I did it like 6 hours ago, so let me go into the merging workload branch right quick and then go ahead and merge that into my work. Okay? Because it would be super chaotic. There's another thing I also realized about teams is, if you know for a fact you're gonna be working in on a level itself, like doing changes in a level itself, besides the level designer and the environment artist, please make another map. Okay, make another level map. Do your little changes if you work on AI or something like that, just to get the mechanics going and whatnot. Please do that, because if it's not enough communications and you both working at the same time on that level, and say like a level designer push their level into the branch, right? And then you pull from that branch, your work of AIs or whatnot you had onto that level will be gone. That's also terrible. That's another thing I noticed from a couple other game jams I've been in, that where the team is like you all working on the same level, even though y'all in different branch, but with the lack of communication on who's in the who's doing changes in the level is what gonna cause a conflict. That's like if an environment artist is putting assets into it or something, right? Just to see what it look like, and then they still put the changes out there so the low designer can see that. But say like the low designer already started working on his or her blockout at the same time, and they're like, okay, let me go ahead and pull from that, blah blah blah. All they blackout they had is gone, and then they're gonna be upset, and then it's just gonna be a conflict. Let's avoid conflicts, everybody. You gotta think about it. If you're going to work in a level and it's not going to be enough communication among the team to tell them like, hey, I'm about to start working on the level, some changes in the level. Please don't do no changes at the moment on the level, okay? That's communication. If you're not going to say all that all the time, or you're going to forget that you told somebody that you about to start working on a level to do some level changes, then it's best to have a separate map. Repeat, it's best to have a separate map to avoid conflict. So once everything is merged and stuff, we could just put everything all together once everything is done. Like if the low design is done, we'll already block out in her map or his map. Environment artist, look at that level, block out. Okay. Boom. Do they thing. Look good. Person that's trying to put all the AIs and stuff into that level. Boom. They already got their map already, so they already got their functions and stuff like that. All they gotta do is just move those AIs into that map. Boom, you're done. That's the best way to do it, okay, y'all? So if y'all need a part 3, just let me know.